Hey folks, before we begin, I just want to mention one thing. We had a little bit of audio mishap. My microphone was a little too hot, and my audio clips every now and then. This is going to be through the entire episode. It is somewhat listenable, so just bear with us through this, and hope you enjoy.
Hello everyone, welcome to Before the Episode of Absurd Arguments, where occasionally we make a skit for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry about this, guys. I'm sorry we've neglected releasing an episode. I'm sorry we're resorting to skits to do introductions, but it's just how it is sometimes.
Podcast skits bring out the best in us. They show us at our most vulnerable, our most powerful, our most successful, and sometimes how we fail.
And we really dropped the ball this time in our failure to release an episode in a timely manner due to sickness, laziness, just fill in the blank.
When we listen to podcast skits, it helps us escape. It helps us view our dreams and examine the world around us and hopefully become even better people.
And it's not like we didn't try to record or we tried to get together to meet, but it's just sometimes it could be a difficult thing to do. It hurts me to do this to you.
So please enjoy this special podcast skit from your hosts, me, Nathan, and my great co-host, Matthew. It's something we're deeply proud of, and we hope you enjoy.
Hello there, fellow coworker. What are you up to?
I love cooking, and today I'm going to make hamburgers.
I see. Well, it is always nice to have help. Shall I help?
Yes, you can. Let us cook the hamburgers.
Let us, indeed.
So, what do you usually put on your burgers?
I like to add some lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and cucumbers.
My family loves hamburgers, but we usually don't have them very often. It's nice to have a break from our routine.
Well, if they ate these, I'm sure they would love them.
Yeah. Working here at the agency, it's nice to make hamburgers in the break room every now and then, you know?
Yes, it is rather odd that we have a full kitchen as a break room, but I am not one to complain.
Yeah, and it's industrial size, so we can all, be chefs in here together. It's kind of a nice experience here at the agency.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Fellow agent, would you like to hear the mission I did yesterday?
Considering I have nothing else going on in my life, I shall hear you out.
Well, let me recount it to you. So it happened a bit like this.
A man in the dark suit walks confidently through the bustling city street. He pauses and looks up as a shadow appears across the city. The helicopter slowly circles in the sky above, a stark reminder of the mission ahead. The man turns a corner and enters a dark and secluded alleyway. He stops and turns to find a figure in the shadows.
You're the spy to come save the world?
Yes, I'm here to save the world.
Good, because the world needs saving. There's an evil corporation that's been developing a way to control people's minds using video games.
Let me guess. They want to take over the world.
Exactly. They plan to create video games that can hypnotically control the minds of large populations.
And I'm here to stop them?
That is correct. You have to find and eliminate the source of the video games before they can do any damage.
Ooh. You know, I won't fail. And so, fellow agent, that's how they told me about the mission. But then we had a fight scene.
The lab is filled with bustling activity as a small team of scientists work around the clock to create the video games. In the center of the room is a table where there is the lone spy who sits with a series of tools and materials.
Okay. So the plan is to use these materials to build a device that will help us escape from the bad guys.
Suddenly, the door slams open.
Wait, how does the door slam open?
Don't stop, just keep going.
Sorry. Suddenly, the door slams open, and a group of bad guys burst into the lab. The spy looks up with a cold stare.
We know what you're up to, and you're not getting away with it.
The spy scoffs. He quickly takes a stick of chewing gum out of his pocket and proceeds to blow a bubble.
Look at my sly grin. We'll just see about that.
Bubble pops, and the bad guys watch in confusion.
Sorry. Let's try that at confusion. And the
I swear, you better leave the word conclusion in there.
the bubbles. Shut up.
The bubble pops, and the bad guys watch in confusion. Suddenly, the room is filled with loud buzzing noises. Outside the lab, a small hovering drone is revealed, and it is equipped with a variety of weapons and items. The spy grins as he watches the drone fly, and the lab attacking the bad guys.
See, I told you I had a plan, and with a little bit of gum, I was able to make it work.
The lab door slams shut, and the bad guys run away in terror. The spy savors his victory with a satisfied grin. As the spy stands in front of the lab triumphant, he says,
Sometimes, the simplest objects can be the most effective weapons.
Wow, you really fought bad guys with a stick of gum?
I did, and that was before the final confrontation.
a dark laboratory. The villain sits behind a computer, while the spy stands opposite of him, hands on hips.
I know what you've been up to.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about your hypnotic video games. You're abusing your power to plant mind control in unsuspecting gamers.
Well, what if I am?
Then this has to stop. You can't just use people's minds as your playthings. It's wrong, and it has to end now.
No, I will not be stopped. The world needs my games, and I will be a leader in the world of video games.
No, you won't. You're breaking the law, and you need to be held accountable.
I'm not afraid of the law.
But you should be afraid of me. I'm giving you one chance to stop your evil game. Do it voluntarily, or you will be forced to. Your choice.
Fine. I will stop my games.
Good. Then this case is closed.
The spy turns and walks out of the laboratory as the villain looks on in disappointment.
Yeah, and so that all happened yesterday in my mission.
That is quite strange. I do have a question, though.
Yeah, what's your question?
Can a door really slam open?
I mean, If the AI program I use to help me make up this story says so, then yes. I mean, of course, a door can slam open.
I do see.
I am glad. Have you listened to the newest episode of the agency's favorite podcast, Absurd Arguments?
Yeah, man, like, what the heck? They didn't even mention us after we did all that work for him. I mean, the whole episode was about spies.
No, you're joking. Because I saw it was about spies. I just haven't had a chance to listen to it. And they don't even mention the agency once.
Dude, like I'm like a hardcore fan. Like that Matthew guy has the voice of a god, and he never mentioned us at all. And I was heartbroken.
Dude, and I'm like a huge fan of Nathan. Like I've got my Nathan shrine up in my closet, and I've got his posters all along my wall, from that one calendar he made.
Yeah. But do you have the Ollie plush, Nathan's dog?
I do not have a plush of his dog yet. I do want to get
sounds
that
like you're
someday.
not a fan then.
I'll just look. I've had to like actually support my family, so I haven't been able to just.
I've had to support my family.
Stuff.
I do not care. You have to give your whole support to them. That's why the agency exists.
Oh gosh, you're right. I just don't know. I don't know if this is going to ruin the relationship we have with Absurd Arguments. That since they didn't even mention. The boss is coming.
Oh yes.
As you were, men.
He called us men.
Dude, I can't believe it. He really did call us men.
Yeah, the chief actually spoke to us. This is so great.
Hold on, I gotta go call my mom. I'll be right back.
Bye. I'm gonna finish these hamburgers. See ya. Wow, Matthew, that was a great skit.
Yeah, I do gotta say, a lot of effort and work was put into it, and I'm actually pretty proud of how it turned out.
Right. People may say, hey, Nathan and Matthew are lazy podcasters, and that would be further from the truth.
Maybe not that far.
So far. Very far.
Sure. But, I mean, we're not here to talk about skits and our failure.
No.
We're here to talk about farming. We're here to talk about farming.
Look, let's just get it out of the way, all right? Folks, Matthew called me out, all right? You may wonder, how does Nathan and Matthew come up with the topics of these episodes? What deep well of creativity must flow out of their minds? Well, I'll be real with y'all, okay? We're going to show you how the sausage is made a little bit. Occasionally, it's because of video games.
Occasionally.
And so lately, I've been playing Stardew Valley, where you are a farmer and you can grow crops and have animals and go fishing and stuff. Yeah, hey, please don't keep that one in because there's a real girl named that was rejected by, so don't keep that in. So anyway, yeah. So I've been playing that game, Stardew Valley. I had COVID for a week, and so I wanted a peaceful game, and that's what I was playing. And then it made me think, well, it's around fall time. This is when farmers are harvesting their crops in real life. So why don't we do arguments about farming?
Yeah. And in my high school that I went to growing up in East Texas, there were the two biggest things that our town kind of gathered around was our football team and our ag team. And so farming has been a part of my life for a long time because it was something my grandparents did. They had a little farm where they grew different vegetables and things. I saw it all the time in high school. So farming is it's one of those autumnal things that's just done. And it's a beautiful time because people get to eat again. And that's
Yeah.
mostly the reason why it's important.
Well, I mean, and just in case you were worried about my bona fides, what qualifies me, I grew up in the mountains of North Georgia. And so I was surrounded by farmers. My parents had a little garden, which isn't really a farm, but whatever.
I mean, you did breed golden retrievers.
Yeah, we bred golden retriever puppies, and so yeah, we've done farming stuff, and I technically live on a farm now, so
True.
yeah, so that's what we're gonna focus on today. So we've got arguments about that. So I guess we could just go on and cue the music and get right into it.
I would like to start off our episode with the idea of, what is it about plant life? Plant life is all over the place. Like as I'm recording, I'm looking out of my window and I see trees and grass. Plant life is everywhere. But when it comes to harvest time, such as when the harvest moon rises, it's time to go out and get the crops. And the crops have been the way that the world has been run for, eons, for centuries and thousands of years. And so we want to start off this argument at the beginning. What do you think about that, Nathan?
Absolutely. Our first argument is going to be on which crop you should grow. Should you grow corn or soybeans? Those are the top two crops, or in the top 5 crops that America has. So
Indeed.
Matthew has corn. I have soybeans. Matthew, you go on and tell us, why should we grow corn?
Well, corn is actually a very, very important American crop. It was taught to the pilgrims that came over from England and other countries that eventually settled in North America, and it's called maize. Now I have a book here. I have my my form of research is done through books, and the book I have here is titled "A Gardener's Guide to Growing Sweet Corn" by Paul R. Wanning, which is kind of a funny name. But in his entry, The Common Name of Sweet Corn, in North America, the word corn refers to a specific grain, maize. This is a word the Caribbean tribe used in reference to the grain of the North Americans that we call corn. The original English word for maize, now this does not represent my view, this is just what the writer has written. The original English word for the maize, Indian corn, became shortened through the usage to corn, and sweet corn refers to the sweet variety usually eaten before the grain matures when it is still sweet and soft. And corn can be used in so many different things, and it's actually become something of a staple in some states. And for instance, in the book A Culinary History of Iowa by Darcy Daughtry Molesbury. Yes, I had to figure out how to pronounce the name Daughtry on the fly, and then I remembered, there's that one singer, Chris Daughtry, and then it all came to me.
Yeah.
In the chapter 2 of The Immigrants' Influence of Iowa's Food Traditions, she writes, some immigrants were motivated by ideological ideas when they settled in America. The new state of Iowa, specifically Adams County, became a promised land for French men and women pursuing their dream to create a communal utopian society where everyone was equal. And so this got me thinking, what is this group? And it is the French Icarians, I think is how you pronounce it. And so I was very curious. So I went to Wikipedia to figure out what the heck are the Icarians. And the Icarians was an established movement by politician, journalist, and author Etienne Cabet. In an attempt to put his economic and social theories into practice, Cabet led his followers to the United States of America in 1848, where the Icarians established a series of egalitarian communities in the states of Texas, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, and California.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what? Why would this book about the culinary history of Iowa just take this weird tangent and go, oh yeah, we had a bunch of French communists come over here, by the way. So then I started looking into the Etienne Cabet, and dude, it's bonkers. It's crazy.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, you decided to use corn as a stepping stone to talk about how much you love communism?
No. I'm using corn to talk about a French utopian movement started by Etienne Cabet because of his published book, translated into English, Travels in Icaria, where he proposed replacing capitalist production with workers' cooperatives. And I just got to say, you went to Iowa?
I mean, honestly, dude, nobody knows anything about Iowa except people who are from there or maybe are adjacent to it. So
it's true.
Maybe he just didn't even know what was there before he went.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, Matthew, if you asked me, name a fun fact about Iowa, it would have to be that the French communists made a corn utopia there.
Now, there's a reason why this plugs into it, because the French Icarian Colony Board of Trustees was formed in recent years, has been rebuilding the French Icarian village.
Oh no!
Yes, so watch out, people in Iowa. You've got French communists up there. And so in the French Icarian village, they have something that's called the Festival of Corn, which is held in fall. And the original festival was a celebration held by the Icarians each fall after the crops were harvested, and the feast was served in a communal dining hall to everyone who came to help on the final day of corn harvest, which means if you worked, you ate. If you didn't, you're hungry.
Yes. So it wasn't just like a gathering of gregarious Frenchmen. It was more, hey, this is how you earn your keep. This is your payment. You get to eat the corn you harvested.
Exactly. It's hard for me as a hardcore American capitalist to look at this and say there is injustice, because men and women are not equal. Sorry.
Matthew,
my apologies. I don't actually mean that. That was a joke.
Now, I wouldn't fit in this French colony, this French community very well, because corn is probably my least favorite vegetable.
That's unfortunate.
Actually, I'll be honest with you. This episode was very difficult for me because even though I do love Stardew Valley in this farming game, I realized that the things we're going to talk about today, there's at least 3 of them I dislike. So and I'm going to have to argue for one of them, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't like corn. Maybe it's just too sweet, It's yellow. Yellow is like one of the worst colors.
So there's a guy that I used to go to church with, and he loves corn. And there was one day I was invited over to his house for lunch because, I'm youth pastor at the church, single guy, didn't have anywhere to go for lunch. So this church member invited me over, and he served spaghetti. And in the spaghetti was corn.
What?
Yes. In spaghetti, this church member put corn in spaghetti.
So he let me see if I understand this. There was like a tomato sauce and the corn was mixed into the tomato sauce. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes. Yeah. He had the meat sauce with the tomatoes and the ground beef
Uh-huh.
and corn.
Like it
You
wasn't
know,
separate. It was mixed
Italian.
in. Well,
Yeah,
we all know corn is
it was cooked into the sauce.
okay. So this man actually, what he did is just like gave you spaghetti noodles with Brunswick stew on top. That's all I'm
Essentially, yeah.
thinking of.
And like it wasn't terrible. It was just bizarre.
It's alarming.
It's quite alarming to go and it's like, oh yeah, we're having spaghetti today, and he pulls off the foil tin off the top, and I just see bits of corn everywhere, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, I've never heard of such a thing. That's kind of insane.
Man, but I mean, just imagine if this church member liked soybeans instead and put soybeans in the spaghetti.
Oh, for sure. That would make more sense to me. Maybe I don't know. Like tofu.
Why would that make more sense then?
Okay, well you get tofu from soybeans.
Oh,
So you could replace the meat with tofu.
oh.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, did I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to reveal to you one of my mom's dishes that she would make when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. My mom, cooking for a family, 6 kids, and for your husband as well. That's tough, okay? And so growing up, my mom, typical American mom, a lot of casseroles, a lot of pasta type dishes. But then she started to get creative for a time.
Oh no.
And so she found this one recipe, and gosh darn it, it actually is good. That's the worst part. But she would make tofu noodle tacos.
Oh no.
Yeah, so tofu noodle tacos, and it's just, you have the crunchy taco shell. You make it like you would like a normal Taco Bell taco, kind of, with the meat and lettuce and stuff, but you have like tofu noodles on it,
dude,
like little spaghetti noodles.
That's an iCarly joke.
Yeah, well, it's not. It wasn't a joke in my life. It was a meal.
Oh gosh, that was a joke in the show iCarly where Spencer comes in with spaghetti tacos.
Yeah, well, it's a real life thing.
Oh gosh.
What I'm learning, I didn't watch iCarly. That was kind of after my age for it. What I'm learning is iCarly is just copying my life. And I don't appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to argue that soybeans are a better crop than corn. The fact is, Matthew, there's nothing funny about soybeans.
You mean there wasn't a French communist group that came over and was just like, hey, we're gonna celebrate corn?
No, I suppose I should have Googled the history of soybeans, but I just looked up like the production side of it. I found a YouTube video called "The Life of a Soybean."
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it was a cute little cartoon, and so it shows that it starts in the winter, honestly, where the soil is being, prepped or whatever. And then the farmers plant it in the spring or summer. And the most common soybean we grow in the U.S. is yellow soybeans. And that's what we use for, tofu and soy products. But yeah, we export it. We export it a lot. We also use it for like soybean oil. And that's soybean oil can also be put into rubber and stuff. So,
whoa,
yeah. So it's used as a.
But you're telling me if I bought soybean oil, I could be making a tire?
Sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So like, if what you need to do is check out soyconnection.com. It's all about soys. But yeah, here's what it says about soybean oil. Let's see. Soybean oil also has industrial applications such as rubber, lubricants, and adhesives. So if you want,
Ew. Lube.
oh, I thought you meant adhesives. I was like, what do you have against that? So honestly, if you want your food to stick together good, soybean oil is the way to go. You know?
Wait, so it's used to make stuff slick and
Uh-huh.
steady.
Isn't that interesting? What a paradoxical veggie. Bro, I swear, when this episode's done, you're going to get me on this stupid rabbit hole of how can soybean oil be used to make things sticky, but also slippery.
Mm.
You know?
Isn't that just communism?
Oh, yeah, paradoxical.
Dang.
You're right.
There's
Yeah.
going to be a soy communist group that comes from, I don't know, Albania.
Yeah.
It's going to settle in Montana in the next couple years.
Yeah, no, it'd probably be, I mean, I know you say Albanians, but it's probably going to be like soybeans are like crazy popular in Asian countries, right? So
Mm.
it'll probably be some Asian type of peoples.
Which Asian type of peoples, Nathan?
Whichever one of your favorite is, Matthew.
Dang.
Filipinos. Let's have them come and do it.
Come on, Philip.
Yeah, Filipino. But yeah, honestly, I think our argument for corn versus soybeans, I don't think any farmer listening to this would be convinced either way to grow one or the other. You know?
I mean, depends on your economic viewpoint.
Yeah. So if you're a communist like Matthew and the French, make corn.
Just the French.
And if you're you want just a nice, pleasant time with soybeans and to, form fun relationships.
One of the main causes for the Industrial Revolution.
Yeah, do soybeans.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Now our next topic should be like a bit more fun, perhaps. We also wanted to say, because there's farms. I mean, there's animals on farms. And
there's also a book called Animal Farm.
Whoa! Did you read that book for your research?
I did not, but I read it in high school.
I love that book.
I do too. I adore that book. It's so good.
But anyway, so our next two questions involve what kind of animals should you have on your farm?
Mm-hmm.
And so our first one is horses versus cows. I'll be arguing for horses. Matthew, of course, will be arguing for cows. So yeah.
Course. Do
you want me to start?
Please be my guest.
Yeah.
Just kidding. So cows. No, no, please go.
Yeah. No. So my leading source of my leading source that I looked at for this is cowgirlmagazine.com.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so I wanted to learn from cowgirls why I should have horses, and then the next animal we're going to argue about. I just thought it was a lot of fun. So horses have benefits on the farm other than what you'd normally think of, which is just like riding around. Okay, and so
that's all I think about.
Yeah, I mean. They're just standing there waiting to be ridden, Don't
take that out of context.
I wanted to add. Never mind. But you know what I want to say. Okay. So here are the benefits. Cowgirl Magazine lists the benefits of why you should have a horse on your farm. Okay. One, their manure.
Just try that again.
Their manure.
Nope. Give it another shot.
Bro, I can't say it. Manure.
Yeah, there you go.
Their
manure.
Poop can be. Their poop can be composted for your garden. Okay.
True.
so you can just spread it around, play with it, put it in the garden. Horses can pull logs.
Dude, that's sick.
They're just now. I like this list because it puts horses can pull logs, and then the next point is with their strength they can easily haul things around the homestead for you. Why did we have to put specifically logs in one category and then everything else in the next one?
No, not everything else. Everything else in your homestead.
In my homestead, right? Around
Which
the
means
homestead.
if you do not have a homestead, you should not have a horse.
They're like, could you move my TV for me? And the horse is like, dude, that's not in your homestead. Come on. Now this one.
Why are you asking a horse to move your TV? And why is the horse pulling a Balaam's donkey?
What if I, like my grandparents, they used to have this humongous, like from the early 2000s, one of those huge TVs that's just like a big old box, you know?
Mhm.
And it's hard to take. It's hard to move around as one person, so I would need a horse.
Mm.
And maybe I like to pretend that my horses talk to me, okay?
All right, horse girl.
Yeah, don't you dare. Okay, now this one trumps what you're going to argue for, because horses, they can move around and work and move cattle. So cows are scared of horses, natural enemies, and horses can intimidate them. I like this one. You can ride the horses around the ranch and mend fences or check on livestock. So, you know, check
While on the horse?
Yeah, while on the horse. Like, I don't know how you'd fix the fence while on the horse, but it's doable, according to Cowgirl Magazine. Let's see. Farmers are able to plow fields for growing crops. You can use the horses for that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this one's cool. I didn't know horses were so violent, but you can eliminate tractors, tillers, and other equipment. They are destroyers.
You put a hit out on a tractor. You see a tractor roll by, and you look at your horse and go, all right, rides with the wind. Here's what I need you to do. You see that tractor going down there? Eliminate it. And it goes, whoa! And then it comes back. It's like covered in oil and grease. It's prancing in very triumphantly. And then this other farmer's chasing behind it, just like that. Somehow that horse just destroyed my tractor.
It's like, Bob, I told him to kill it. Horses are also more environmentally friendly than fossil fuel burners. They've obviously never been around a farting horse. Pop a few soybeans in that bad boy, and golly, it's got enough fossil fuel burning to rival a tractor.
Oh my gosh. Hey, that's that whole argument that we need to cut down on cattle because they produce too much methane.
Yeah.
Because they fart too much.
Dude, isn't that the argument for cows too?
Yeah. It's one of my favorite arguments like for climate change, because it's just like, so you want to get rid of all these cows,
Right.
these organic beings, because it's destroying this organic world. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
But the reason is they fart too much, and it pollutes the world with their farts.
Yeah.
I love it.
I got two more things about horses.
Okay, please do.
So they can teach children about responsibility on the farm.
That's wow.
So like it's like homeschooling, but you sit your kids in the classroom and there's the horse. He's got the glasses on and a little cap, and he's like, "Hello, I'm here to teach you about farm life and responsibility." You know, and he tells each of them they have a specific spot in society they need to fill. You know, and that's their responsibility in life.
Mm. Your horse teacher from Cowgirl Magazine talks a lot like a cat girl from the anime world. Hello.
What?
What to teach you about responsibility.
He doesn't sound like that at all.
He
Fine,
totally
okay,
does.
No, let's go back. Okay. Well, hello there, children. Today I'm here to teach you about responsibility. We're going to learn about the farm. Okay, does he sound like that?
No, he sounds like a rooster from Looney Tunes.
Yeah, hey, yeah, that's a bonus.
Ugh, I hate that accent so much.
I love it. I know you hate it, and that's
So
why I love to
bad.
use it sometimes.
Ugh.
Yeah. Also, horses are pretty gregarious, so that means they're just wonderful companions to other animals and people. So they can be your friend. So yeah,
That's nice. Yeah, cows.
the final frontier.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, in the book Raising Dairy Cattle for Beginners by Carson Wyatt, he talks a lot about cows. And there's not really much from this book that I gained that I kind of was just like, yeah, I could see that. However, I do want to focus on this one thing that I found very interesting.
Yeah.
In the section entitled About Udders, the udder is commonly called a bag. No, Mr. Carson, it's commonly called an udder.
I imagine the horse professor. Now, children, the udder is not an udder. It is a bag.
It's a bag. And if you're from Iowa, it'd be called a bag.
Big.
Bag. And and he continues, and it's where milk, protein, and butter fat are produced. It has generous blood supply and is the primary focus of your dairy cow, obviously.
Huh.
Yeah, it just the way he's like, hey, it's called a bag, and I'm like, wait, what? This is something I also found that's interesting about keeping cows. Cattle are used to a routine, and it's best that you keep the routine up.
Really?
And I want to talk about this just for a second. The cow thrives best in routine.
Yeah.
This cow would be great as an office worker.
Dude, honestly.
Because, I mean, hey, I've got to get this project in by 3 p.m. tomorrow. You got it, sir. And it's just like, this is what he does. He just, gets his hoofs on the computer and realizes, wow, I can't type because I have hoofs and not fingers. But like that routine of just, wake up 5:30, walk out, turn on the coffee machine, gets his newspaper or his news app on his phone, and is just sipping in silence quietly, reading the news. Then he looks up at the clock and he goes, well, I guess it's time to go. Then he goes and gets in his suit, goes to work that he may or may not enjoy, but he knows it's the best thing he can do right now. And he's just living a miserable life. And then he gets home, turns on the TV, watches whatever is on, just to shut his brain off for a moment. And his wife eventually comes in the door and says, and then the cow answers back. And then the wife cow answers. And then she sits on the couch and it just, is just there with him because his life is miserable and he knows it. And then he looks at the clock and he realizes it's time to go to bed. So he goes to bed and he wakes to do the exact same thing in the morning.
Wow. I didn't know cows had it so bad.
Well, since they like routine, that's exactly where my brain went.
Gosh. So you're like, so instead of calling, office workers drones or cogs in a machine, they should be referred to as cattle.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they are.
Yeah.
In the machine of capitalism, they provide the bare necessities to get the machine going, and that's really what they are.
Right.
Wow, that's really mean.
Yeah. Gosh.
Golly.
Hey, and then management. Management in this theoretical cow office is horses.
They
the
are the
horse comes in.
horses.
He's like, Hey, if you could have that report on my desk by 5, that'd
If
be
you could have that
great.
report for me on the desk, I would really appreciate it.
Now, I do declare I need that report on my desk by the end of the day, or you are fired.
But here's the other thing about cows. Is your horse going to provide you meat?
If I kill it, yeah.
But are you really going to eat horse meat?
Bruh, they do it in like Italy all the time.
That's
If it's good enough
repulsive.
for the if it's good enough for the Italians, it's good enough for me.
If it's good enough to stick corn in it, then it's good enough for me. If the Italians can do it.
Look, if it can eat corn, it can be eaten.
Man. Yeah, I really don't have to defend why cows are the superior cattle to have on the farm because they're amazing and they've got bags of milk.
Why, of all the pieces of information you gave me today, I didn't want that one.
So just as an aside, I have experienced a lot of things related to cows that aren't necessarily cows themselves. That is the most tame thing that I can say.
Yeah, no,
cow
you're
is a
fine.
very derogatory term, and
Yeah.
I have seen things that I wish I had never seen before. So having an udder and calling it a bag is way better.
Look, man, I'm just acting like your normal listener here, okay? I know what you've seen. You've told me.
Oh gosh.
Now, our final argument, another animal, two types of animals that you see on a farm, pigs and goats, and ironically, I hate both of them. I don't. Pigs are in my bottom 5 least favorite animals. And other animals in my bottom 5 are elephants, monkeys, apes, and gorillas. I would count those as my 5. What's your bottom 5 animals?
Oh, I don't really have a list off the top of my head.
Okay, you can think about it and share it later if you wish.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't like monkeys, apes, gorillas, elephants, and pigs. They're just not my favorite. Anyway, and I also don't like goats. We'll get into that in a minute. But you're arguing for pigs, right?
Right.
Okay, so why should a farmer have a pig, Matthew?
Well, a farmer should have a pig because it gives so much. I mean, you have that old saying, you can use every single part of a pig. And it's very easy to see why a pig could be used. Because, pigs not only will create plenty of manure that you can use and compost it, but also pigs give you things that you really can't live without. Ham, sausage, bacon, like
the best part of a pig, honestly.
Yeah, there's a reason why you raise a pig and it's not to keep as a pet.
Matthew, maybe I just don't like pigs, but I do like what they can become. I don't like their it's like I like the final result of their death, I suppose.
Yeah. Again, that makes sense, but it's not about the journey. It is about the destination when it comes to pigs. And you look at this cute little thing as like, oh man, you're going to taste really good.
Not cute. It's hideous. They're ugly. I hate them.
Wow, you are all of those things.
Hey! Nathan, you're a pig.
In an article that I have called in the magazine called Farmers Weekly. I don't know if it's for farmers only, but it is for Farmers Weekly.
you can never be lonely when you're on Farmers Only.
Farmers Weekly. So the title of this article is "Small Scale Pig Farmer Implements Commercial Practices."
Yeah.
So the guy's name, I do not know how to pronounce his name. I'm going to give it my best shot, is Booty maligna.
You're joking. That's not a name.
Well, it is for, I think it's this. It's a South African.
You said
I don't.
booty ligma?
No, not booty ligma. Booty malinga. That's it.
Booty malinga. Okay.
Booty malinga. Together with his sister, Kathy. Started the Vukani piggery in 2008 with 9 sows after they required the farm. So this article is about how he currently has 75 sows or 75 pigs.
Right.
And when he first received the farm, he had to go through some difficulties. Specifically, when he when he first started farming, Malinga had to sell his wieners to improve his cash flow.
No.
No, his wieners as in Weaners. So like the pig. So you have the sow and the wiener.
Folks, welcome to Absurd Argument, where your two hosts are two middle school boys.
Can't stop crying. Oh gosh.
Gosh, you just say the word wiener around Matthew and he just falls apart. He's a goner. I mean, to be fair, with a name like the word booty, it makes sense that you sell. Like it's his destiny to sell wieners or something.
Oh gosh, dude!
You've convinced me. I'll sell my wieners for my pigs.
Oh, dude! So I played. Just a side note. I played volleyball last night.
Yeah.
For like the first time in a while, and so I'm sore in some areas, and I'm pretty sore in my core from trying to like get down and then hop back up.
Right.
I'm in so much pain in my stomach.
Well, that's what you get for saying the word wieners. I knew it. I was like, maybe he's done. He's not done.
Indeed. Well, pigs, you should buy them. Nathan, what do you have?
Okay, I mean, I'm supposed to argue for that you should own goats. Honestly, I don't think you should. The reason is, when I was a kid, my grandfather loves goats. And so my parents were like, let's get your grandpa a goat for Christmas. And so they went to this person who was like, yeah, this will be one of those small dwarf goats. They lied. It was humongous. It got super big. And it was worthless. You know, goats are supposed to eat everything. Like, they heard that goats like to eat kudzu, and we had a huge patch of kudzu, and you can't get rid of that, really. And so they planted my grandfather's goat, right beside the kudzu. He wouldn't eat the kudzu. The one stupid thing we wanted him to eat. But he ate everything else. Dang. And so my grandfather, apparently it was my chore to take care of this goat because we were next door neighbors to my grandparents. So I'd have to go to this stupid goat. And every time I'd get close, he would jump. He would like get on his back legs and try to headbutt me. You know, I'm despite what you may think of me, I'm not a natural headbutter in real life. I never participated. And then I could just go on about how much I hated this stupid goat, but he would like escape sometimes. Like he had this strap that would go around his body, you know, and he was chained up on this hill, and so he would escape, and we'd have to go catch him and bring him back. And the whole time he's just wanting to butt me. It was very traumatic. But for the sake of absurd arguments, I will argue for why you should have one. Cowgirl magazine again is coming in clutch. They said that since, you know, goats are pretty gregarious, so they can provide companionship to a lonely horse. So
What?
Yeah, they're apparently good friends with horses.
Huh.
Yeah, horses like them. And, you know, they make, like you said, that cows could be milked. Well, apparently goats can be milked too. They got that bag on them. So, you know, you can use that. You can also like cut their hair, use that for fiber. You can kill the goat and eat it. I suggested that to my grandfather, and he would not let us kill the goat, you know, which is a shame. But yeah, so I don't know, man. Cowgirl magazine's got weird things because they also talk about how there's such a thing as goat yoga, where you do yoga outside with goats. And apparently that's another reason why goats are popular. And people think they're cute. I don't see it. I think they're hideous and ugly. Not as bad as pigs, but close. And their eyes, very shifty. But anyway, that's what I have on goats.
Goat eyes are crazy.
Yeah.
I like goats.
Oh, I guess I win.
Well, we're getting close to running out of time anyway, so we need to go ahead and cue the music.
We should.
Oh, my stomach hurts so much.
Yeah. Must have been all that corn spaghetti you ate.
Oof.
You need you some soybean noodle tacos.
Ugh. No.
For lunch.
No, I don't.
Well, folks, thank you. Thank you for listening to our episode. You know, Matthew and I lately, we've been doing this crazy thing where we try to have some weird word stuff or phrase we use. And so we try to guess at the end of the episode what it was. Matthew, I don't really know what yours was. Is it the phrase bare necessities?
What? No.
Oh, okay. What was your thing?
So I did it more at the beginning, not so much at the end, but it was to repeat the word indeed. So it was just repeat a word as many times as you can. And I tried to, but then there were just parts where I couldn't fit it in. That was it.
Well, do you know what mine was?
Honestly, dude, I was too caught up in so many things that I don't know what yours was.
I used the 10-letter word gregarious.
Oh.
Yeah, I said that at least 3 times.
You said that word. I was like, what? Why would he use that?
I had to double check its stupid definition. I was like, oh, it means friendly and not violent or awful like I initially thought. What an odd word for being social and friendly to people. Gregarious.
I mean, those Gregs, they make good friends.
Yeah.
I think this episode has definitely shown that neither of us are farmer material. And you can totally give us all your cool farm tips and tricks by connecting with us on our social media of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, all those good things, and even in the YouTube comments section. Or you can send us an email at absurdargumentsforyou@gmail.com.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We would love to hear from y'all.
We'd love to hear how much you also enjoy pigs and goats and cows and stuff, and how you've put corn in your spaghetti.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Or your soybean noodles in your tacos.
Ugh, gross.
Well, I know, my mom.
But that's going to do it for us in this episode. Nathan, do you have any parting thoughts?
Wieners.
Goodbye, everybody.
Adios.